Well, good morning YouTube. It's quite a chilly night actually. Woke up at 4 o'clock with the badgers scurrying around. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on a video before, but at one point down there, the badgers dig their little scrapes and go to the toilet. So I keep away from down that little bit, but that brings them around all the time. So we missed out a little bit of my routine from last night, so let's show you what I did. So first I moved the tripod out of the way, and before I go to bed I stick on a big log, or a more denser log. All the wood I collected gets stuck underneath the tarp. It was just stuck there, which is where it's going to be put back to this morning. So it's all out of the way. We had a little bit of rain last night, so that's why it's always put out of the way. All the twigs and stuff to use is all off the floor, all stacked on top of each other. So I can use that for my fire lighting this morning. As you can see, I also put up the reflective tarp. There's a little bit of wind coming up from there. So that's the first step. Move all the wood underneath that, move the tripod out of the way, and stick a log on. Everything else then gets moved to underneath my camping tarp. So all my cooking equipment at the bottom. Most of everything else gets stuck inside my rucksack or on my tripod. And then we got the hangers for my boots, so off the ground. Axe, some water in here. I've just taken off my food and cup. And then we got my waterproof jacket, my sleeping socks, and my sleeping booties, and then I've got my schmag and gloves, and that's where my hat come out of, and I was using that as a pillow. My foot mat is also my sit mat, and they're my sleeping clothes in there. So that is everything. So now it's time to light the fire, get some water on, get some coffee and some breakfast, and that was after my routine for getting up is I get up, change my socks, change into my day clothes, and go for my morning constitutional, come back and light the fire. So that's what I'm going to do now. So that's the water boiled. So one good thing about carving these notched sticks to hang over the fire, although this one is getting quite burnt up, but it's wood, can't expect any more from it. So in keeping with my plan to test out this cook set of bottle, as you can see, I haven't put it in the fire yet. And this pot and hanger, I've only brought out my cookser. Now I can drink out of the pot, but I don't particularly like to drink out of pots that have been just in the fire. One for soot and two for burning lips and tongue. This way I can limit the level of heat coming into contact with my skin, and it's all goes back to managing the cuts, scrapes and injuries to your person whilst out in the woods. You can't carry all of the medications to treat all these, so it's just best to not get them in the first place. So, coffee time. I have bought a Starbucks Via Ready Brew. It's Italian roast, dark. Good morning coffee, I reckon. It's very, very finely ground coffee. Really, really nice. Now, one thing I find about this pot is, one, these get really sooted up and are quite hot. And I always leave the handles apart when they're over the fire, just so they cool down really quick when you take them off, because they're not touching together, they're not holding loads of heat. So now to use the pourers, the strainer, those of you that's not got one, there is 7 straining holes in the lid. Quite helpful. The one thing I will say is you can't pour it at too steep an angle, because the 2 slots for the fish mouth spreader just let out tons of water. So now always use packets to stir. No point getting a spoon just to stir coffee with. This is stiff enough to do it. Go straight in the gash bag, and coffee's up. Nice. I actually think I put too much water in this one, but never mind. So, stuff I bought for breakfast then. Quite like these Nutri-Grain raisin bakes. Quite nice. Got 2 of those in case I am hungry. Kind of snack through the day, so especially when I'm moving about. Here the weather is coming in again, but it's coming from a different direction, so it's probably swirling winds, especially out in the big open field. Fire is going beautifully. I may go. The time is, oh, can't see it on there, 10:20. I actually woke up very early this morning, as I said before, so I think I got up about 9 o'clock after I went back to sleep, and I feel much better for it. So after I've had this and my breakfast, depending on how long I'm staying, I will put certain things away from my hammock camp. My sleeping bag goes into its net, and that stays how it is. My under blanket will then go inside my hammock, just to prevent the outer moisture that's floating in the air getting to it. And if the moisture content in the air gets higher, I'll put it in my bag along with my sleeping bag. And if I only had one shelter, and that was with my hammock shelter, then all of my sleeping gear, including my hammock, would go into my bag, so I had a tarp to work under. That's what's ideal with the way that I have my hammock set up. And during the next coming winter months, I will start just sleeping under this tree next to the fire in my hammock, and we'll just take it down when I've finished. Saves me carrying the extra tarp, and I could swap it out for an extra layer of clothing. So let's show you around. So right now then, that is the fire, and that is some bigger logs just keeping it going. There are some bits of wood collected. I will stand all of that up, and there's the bits that stay on the bench unless I use them. There is my MSR geometry bag, and I have the rope set up just to keep it up, spread. As you can see, I've brought my med kit, my waterproof, and my food and cook kit over here. Tripod. Now, coming over here, as you can see, I've got some stuff to pack away, and I'll be leaving this evening, so I won't be needing sleeping kit. So guys, it is mid-afternoon, and some of the things I've been doing is collecting and gathering wood. There's lots I've chopped down in preparation for them drying out, and they've all been standing up against trees, or I did chop a dead standing down and didn't have time to bring it over, so I brought that over. I've stacked quite a bit of wood that will get the fire going for next time I'm here. I've had lunch, and I'm actually quite gutted because this was my last one, and it was my favourite meal, Thai green chicken curry with rice. Amazing flavour, really good chilli. So I'm a little bit gutted about that, but good trip, well worth having the meal for it. Other things I've been doing is just tidying up my hammock site, and for some of you with the routine question, as before, I'm just burning off all of the let's see if I can just fish one out. So I'm just burning off these, so now I'm going to put this bit in the fire. Get covered in ash, just to start burning them off, just in preparation for when I leave later. And although I can't leave no trace here because there is massive sign of me being here, what I can do though is just make sure that it's not messy. I've cleaned up all of the crap that's been left here from other people being here. For the most part I've burnt a lot of it, and that's kind of the easiest option for me. The other things I've done is just bag it all up, and I'm going to drag it out with me. So yeah, that's pretty much my routine in the woods. Unless I come here specifically to do maybe a video for you guys, like today, I will spend time filming clips, taking pictures, actually doing the thing I'm videoing. If I've come out to carve, then I would have bought my carving kit, and although it's quite hard in these woods, I need to go further afield to find some decent wood, or take some from where I live and bring that in with me. Beech is not the best or easiest wood to carve with, and to get the decent wood you need to chop a perfectly good living tree down, and I'm not really wanting to do that just for carving. So other than that, I will pack away all the little bits that I've got out still, slowly pack my bag, and as I say, just burn off the embers. I've got my MSR dromedary bag that will be putting the rest of the fire out and making sure it's out. That's a good 6 litres in there that's going to be used for the fire. Water wise then, I had 2 of these, and I am down to probably 300 millilitres left in this one, as I do keep topping this up and drinking it. It's one of them empty, the dromedary bag obviously, and I have another water bottle with some water in, and that's for my walk out. My plan is always to consume pretty much 4 litres of water while I'm out here, and that's just during one day, so that's why I bring quite a lot of water with me. Other than that, I am gonna head home and obviously try to have some time to edit this footage. If not, I will edit it tomorrow before I go to work, and if I don't get it done then it'll be next week. So we'll just see how this camera works with my Mac, because before I was using a different laptop and I've not quite used or tried to edit this software on my Mac, so we'll have to try that one. That's about it. I will probably not be doing any more video this evening, so I'm going to pack that away in this little case I bring. It's a Pelly case. I'm going to be trying to get some new batteries for this camera. I don't particularly want to purchase a new camera, as this one works fine. My problem has always been with the battery life, so I'm going to purchase some new batteries and see how we get on. So thank you for watching, and thank you for all your support up until now and into the future. I will be trying to get out a little bit more now, and just like to say thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next video.